that you are being removed from your position at the Department of Justice and from the federal service effective immediately. Oh, that feels good.
Donald Trump does not back the blue. He backs the coup.
And this more poetry! What is it with these people? Who's writing this crap for them?
I mean, these people believe in the mission of the Department of Justice. They believe in that very old-fashioned institution of the rule of law, and they want to be part of it. A lot of them also...
No, they don't. Jack Smith's not even legitimate. He's not even a real prosecutor. You're fired, says President Trump to Jack Smith's team and a dozen other key officials. We're trying to piece together who was actually canned and walked out with their little box. Here, take your little crap in here and all your donuts and cookies and stuff and waddle on out of here. To all these prosecutors, gone. The Fox News website is reporting, but we've also got the letter that went out. This came courtesy of our friend Phil Holloway, and we'll read the exact letter that was sent to these folks who should have been fired and essentially never hired in the first place. But here's the background, telling us that according to Fox, an exclusive for them, the Justice Department is firing more than a dozen key officials who worked on Jack Smith's team prosecuting Trump after acting Attorney General James McHenry said that they could not be trusted in, quote, faithfully implementing the president's agenda. Gone. Afuera. McHenry has transmitted the letter to each official notifying them of their termination. Now, it's unclear exactly how many got the letter. Individual names were not immediately released. The move comes after the DOJ, the new DOJ, reassigned more than a dozen officials in the first week and created a sanctuary city task force, amongst other measures. Now, it also comes after Trump vowed to end the weaponization of the government. Jack Smith, as we know, not a real boy, not a U.S. attorney, not legitimately appointed by the president or confirmed by the Senate. His case was dismissed in embarrassment by Judge Eileen Cannon in Florida. And then he tried to run away and hide soon as Trump won the election because he needed to finish his hack report and release that in the January 6th case. He was tasked with overseeing both of those prosecutions. We covered them here. And of course, both of those cases were dismissed. What a total failure. So now the team over there got fired. We'll learn more about the names and who explicitly is canned. But as we see, Bill Holloway linked us to this letter from the acting Attorney General. Subject, notice of removal from federal service, aka you're fired. Saying this letter provides official notice that you are being removed from your position at the Department of Justice and from the federal service effective immediately. Oh, that feels good. Now, as President Trump declared on his first day back in office, quote, the American people have witnessed the previous administration engage in a systematic campaign against its perceived political opponents, weaponizing the legal force of numerous federal law enforcement agencies against those perceived political opponents in the form of investigations, prosecutions, civil enforcement actions, and other related actions. Now, nowhere was that effort more salient than in the unprecedented prosecutions the DOJ vigorously pursued against President Trump himself. You played a significant role in prosecuting President Trump. The proper functioning of government depends on the trust superior officials place in their subordinates. Given your significant role in prosecuting the president, I do not believe that the leadership of the department can trust you to assist in implementing the president's agenda faithfully. As a result, pursuant to Article 2 of the Constitution and the laws of the United States, your employment with the Department of Justice is hereby terminated, and you are removed from federal service effective immediately. Get the hell out! Signed by the acting Attorney General. That was good. You can see ABC has some more information for us. Alexander Mullen was reporting on it. Says over a dozen people are now fired. The letters were transmitted. Don't know the exact number, but they're gone. Now, Jack Smith resigned prior to Trump taking office so that he could race to release his little report that nobody cared about because it was all fake anyways. And separately, an official confirmed to ABC News that the top career officials in the DOJ, this guy called Bradley Weinsheimer, was recently informed he was being reassigned. You're gone. Weinsheimer was a longtime career public official and gained notoriety last year in exchanges with Joe Biden's attorneys as they sought to prevent Robert Hur from releasing his final report. The email said, you played a significant role in prosecuting Trump, and we can no longer trust you. Now, while several career officials who played prominent roles departed before Trump came in, they ran away and like, can I come to your law firm, please? Including Jay Bratt, remember him, the Florida Oompa Loompa, who allegedly was trying to commandeer Stanley Woodward's client by infecting the attorney with a conflict of interest proposal saying that if you get your client to flip on Trump, Trump, you can be a judge in Washington, D.C. Just get your client to flip. Disgusting and shameful. Several other career attorneys who were on Smith's team decided to remain on the team and remain with the DOJ because where are they going to go? Among those officials were longtime career trial attorneys. Molly Gaston, highlighter girl. She's gone. Oh, man. I guess the Trump DOJ didn't care about her little sticky notes and her little tabs on the discovery. I only was the highlighter girl. I didn't prosecute you, Mr. President. I was just tabbing the binders for Jack Smith. I don't care. You're fired. Get out. J.P. Cooney, Mary Dorman, and Ann McNamara, all of whom were informed of their terminations on Monday. You're gone. So Mark Zaid, a prominent national security attorney who's represented federal officials, said his firm is going to represent them pro bono. Anybody who got terminated. All right, great. So they're gone. Bye, Jack, and good riddance to them. You can see AP is reporting. Don't think that they have any other names here. They call it a norm-shattering move. Why? Do you think the president has any obligation to keep the people who try to incarcerate him in the government? Absolutely not. In fact, we believe those people are criminals based on what we've seen so far. Not all of them we have evidence on, but there's going to be evidence once we get their files. The firings are effective immediately. The letter was epic, so they're all now done. On his first day, he issued a sweeping slew of pardons. Pam Bondi said at her confirmation hearing she's not going to play politics, and the firings were first reported over by Fox. Now, something else interesting happened today. This is Leo Terrell. He is a Fox News contributor, podcast host, civil rights attorney, and more. He was in the DOJ building today, and something went wrong. I don't know if Jamal Bowman was in there and pulled a fire alarm or what happened, but here's what happened. They had to evacuate the DOJ.
Hi, Leo 2.0 here. There was an evacuation order in the Department of Justice. We all had to leave the building, and we're out now walking outside the Department of Justice building. The building has just been evacuated. Why? We don't know. It says it's an emergency order. I'm pretty sure we'll find out what's going on. There's a lot of people out in the streets now. More details later. I'm enjoying my work for the president for America.
Heck yeah, baby, Leo!
I didn't enjoy going down 5 flights of stairs.
Here's what he was able to share with us.
He waited out of the Department of Justice building. You can see the people standing on the corners, people over there standing, and people across the street. These are all DOJ employees. What's going on?
Was that a shredder van right there? That white van? Looks like a shredder van, huh? Oh, yeah. What is it, Frito-Lay's? Yeah, right. That looks like an FBI Frito-Lay's van. Yeah, that's okay. There's all the evidence. Get it, Leo. Go get it.
This happened.
It's going.
Just right as the afternoon was starting. More details later.
All right. So who knows what happened? I think we have a pretty good idea. That was the shredder van. So they're lying about what's happening with Jack Smith and the J6 case and the prosecution and all this stuff. This was from Eric Swalwell, who made Bang Bang with Fang Fang, a Chinese spy, who is now telling us that this is reprehensible. J6 pardons, blah, blah, blah. Here he is.
And to Jason and the officers. My name's Eric Swalwell. I'm
know.
the son of a police officer.
Okay.
I have 2 brothers who today still walk the beat. I'm a former prosecutor. So
Gross.
I can tell the difference between a cop and a convict.
Wow, that's
Donald Trump
poetic.
just unleashed and released into our communities over 1,000 criminals, many of them who committed violent acts. And nothing about what Donald Trump did erases what those individuals did on January 6th. Nothing erases what they did. But we should erase this concept that Donald Trump and the Republican Party have the backs of law enforcement officers. Donald Trump does not back the blue. He backs the coup. And this
more poetry! What is it with these people? Who's writing this crap for them? Sheesh.
makes that absolutely clear. I was in the chamber on January 6th, and I'm eternally grateful to Officers Hodges and Dunn, Officer Mike Fanone, Sergeant Gunnell, Officer
Yeah, we got questions for a lot of them about where they were and why their testimony doesn't match other evidence that's been presented in the J6 cases. We're looking forward to that.
Sicknick, who lost his life that day.
No, he didn't. You're a liar, Eric. You're a liar. He didn't die that day. He died the next day, and he died of natural causes. Even the Capitol Hill police said it was natural causes. This dude is a liar, and he's like a bad version of Dr. Seuss. I don't know what he's doing, but the coup and the blue and the rhymes and the, fang fang and bang bang is what we're talking about here. He's taking our little riff here. All right, so that's Stinky Eric Swalwell, who is lying through his disgusting rhyming teeth to all of America, and they know this lie is so offensive to me. They know it's a lie, and they held like a state funeral for the guy, and they've been perpetrating this hoax from the very beginning, and they still will not correct the record. It's dishonorable for them to do that. All right, Julie Kelly, she's amazing. Of course, she got this clip, and she makes this astute observation. She says, now that the pardoned Jamie Raskin refers to Ed Meese as a criminal for opening up an internal investigation into the DOJ's abuse of the law, right? They were using 1512C2, which was that corruptly case. They were saying that there was obstruction of the documents and that there was a corrupt intent happening, but the Supreme Court came back down and narrowed it aggressively, right? Then the DOJ kept those prosecutions going. And the question, of course, in all of these prosecutions is not just with 1512C2, but all the charges, are they being implemented by corrupt prosecutors in a way that is malicious or in an abuse of their office? Raskin is upset about this. Here's what Julie shared with us today.
Another concern of yours, this firing today of the Jack Smith prosecutors also appears to be illegal.
Yeah, full-blown assault at the Department of Justice to sack the prosecutors who've been upholding the law. These are career prosecutors, part of...
Jack's not even a real prosecutor. He got his whole case dismissed, Jamie, in Florida.
The civil service, absolute professionals with complete integrity, and they're sacking the ones who participated in the special counsel investigation just for being put on that team. And at the same time, the U.S. attorney in the District of Columbia is actually investigating its own prosecutors for participating in the cases against the January 6th insurrectionists. So, people have been saying for a while that in Congress, the inmates have taken over the asylum. It's like the criminals are now running the Department of Justice and the criminal investigative apparatus of the United States.
I'm impressed that those prosecutors, those Jack Smith career prosecutors, stayed. I mean, they knew this kind of heat was coming in their direction. They could have decided weeks ago, you know what, I'm going to get myself to the safety of a law firm in private practice as soon as possible. They stayed, indicating to me they wanted to stay in this department and still try to do the work in this department.
I mean, these people believe in the mission of the Department of Justice. They believe in that very old-fashioned institution of the rule of law, and they want to be part of it. A lot of them also...
No, they don't. Jack Smith's not even legitimate. He's not even a real prosecutor. Talk about rule of law. The whole case was corrupted from the inception.
Maybe a year or two away from earning their federal retirement after devoting their entire careers to federal prosecution.
That is icing on the cake. A couple of them were just years away from their federal pensions. Oh, that stinks.
And it's scandalous what's taking place against the career prosecutors. We're not talking about, Joe Biden appointees. We're talking about people who went in there just to enforce the rule of law.
No, and they volunteered to be on Jack Smith's team so that they could go be a part of the entourage that took out Trump, that made history. Okay, they were all in there, not begrudging, oh gosh, we have to go prosecute Trump. This was their whole life for years. This was going to make them nationally renowned names. They would all be on the TV shows all over the place. They lost, so their careers are wrecked. And they took a gamble, and they lost. And it was an unethical gamble, and they know better than this. And other prosecutors who are honest about it know the same. So Raskin seems freaked. They're getting nervous because who is coming in? It's going to be Kash Patel, and he scares them to death.